It's one of the biggest seaports in the world. Thousands of ships, millions of tons of cargo delivered, handled. Hamburg wants to be a gateway to the world.
The city doesn't only serve as a very nice backdrop for touristic pictures, for example, but this is the place where you can actually see what globalization means. But does it work? Global trade is going to be one of the hot topics here in Hamburg, the host of the G20 summit.
Our ship is one of the last to take tourists on a cruise this week. With global leaders arriving, the city is about to change. The summit attracts a lot of anti-G20 protesters. Thousands are coming, ready to take to the streets. The first barricades have been erected by shop owners, and Hamburg is bracing for the worst.
The street behind me is buzzing with a lot of locals, tourists. We are in one of the most famous quarters of Hamburg, the Schanzenviertel, which is most known for its entertainment and nightlife of the city. But with the G20 summit approaching, a lot of restaurants, a lot of shops, like this one right here, will be closed.
Despite so-called protest-free zones during the summit, people expect clashes between protesters and the police. Do you see this as fear-mongering, considering all the barricades in the city? This area is traditionally known for being critical of the government, of the police. So yes, I expect resistance, if righteously so or not, but that's just the way it is.
Und man lehnt sich halt auch dagegen auf, ob zu Recht oder zu Unrecht, darüber kann man dann streiten, aber auf jeden Fall ist es halt so.
Hamburg is known as a hub for left-wing groups. And this building, the Red Flora, serves as a central meeting point to organize anti-G20 protests. It also attracts members of the radical left. They are ready to join the demonstration called Welcome to Hell. What's to expect? The G20 leaders are not welcome. We want to make sure that their stay is uncomfortable. The name of our protest also means that capitalism means hell to many in our world. Or in other words, the G20 leaders should go to hell, regardless of whether they are dictators or democrats. But not everyone is calling for violence to express anger about global exploitation, poverty, climate change, or growing nationalism. This is a peaceful meeting, a summit for global solidarity, with prominent faces like anti-globalization activist Vandana Shiva. This summit wants to be an alternative G20 before G20 even begins. We will not initiate violence, but it's for us to take to the street. We won't get very far just by talking. We need that pressure from the street. Regardless of what will happen in the days leading up to the summit on Friday, protesters have already achieved one goal, and without massive clashes, to bring the harbour to a standstill. During the summit, operations will be limited and access to the port will be largely fenced off.